Happy Saturday, my crafty friends. Trina here, coming to you with hopefully a tutorial here on how we made our little Rolodex card holder. It's all made from scratch, and hopefully I can get through this and it will be self-explanatory. They're actually really simple. Like I said, this is mine, and I've been making my own little Rolodex cards to put in it. So what you're going to need is chipboard, some type of cardstock. It could be like a file folder or just some scrap cardstock. It doesn't have to be anything in particular like that. And some type of decorative paper. And then for the feet, Paula and I just used these dollar store woodcraft cubes. They're about a half an inch square. They're just a little over a half an inch, but I call them half inch square because they're not extremely big. And then you're going to need either some double-sided sticky tape, or my favorite, the 3-in-1, or Fabri-Tac to put it together. And honestly, these are so simple to put together. So out of your chipboard pieces, you're going to need one piece at 4 1/4 by 6. You're going to need two pieces 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. Two pieces 1 inch by 6 inch. That's going to be the construction of your box. Your hinges are going to be made out of the cardstock, or I used file folder. You're going to have two at 1 inch by 4 1/4, two at 1 inch by 6, and 4 little pieces that are 1 by 1 like this. These are going to be your corner hinges. The decorative pieces, you're going to cut, so when you get ready to decorate your box, you're going to cut these sizes again, but just about 1/8 of an inch smaller on both sides. And I did one set for the outside, one set for the inside, and then again you got your 4 feet. So let's get into this. So basically the construction of this is a hinged method, and sometimes it's a little tedious, but I tried it with the double-sided sticky tape. I didn't like it with the double-sided sticky tape because I wanted some grace period in case I didn't like where I put it. So basically you start with your 4 1/4 by 6, and actually I'm starting with the longer sides. I started with the longer ones first. So you're going to have your longer pieces are going to be hinged, and then these are going to come up, but you're going to hinge your shorter pieces here and here. So let's see what we can do about getting these put together. So on your hinge pieces, you're going to have, these are 1 inch pieces. Score them in half. They don't have to be perfect. You're going to crease them. They are not by any means absolutely even. I have yet to do a hinge that's absolutely straight. And if anybody's figured out how to master that, please tell me, because I have been doing this for a while and I still can't. So I'm going to try to stay in camera here and get my glue going here. And I just put some glue, so I have to have enough glue to make sure it stays. I do both sides because I like the glue to get a little bit tacky, so when I put it in place it stays. And then I take my first piece and I put it on my main board. And you want to make sure you're trying to keep it as straight as possible. Then this piece, you're literally going to leave just a tiny little space, because you want, when you flip this up, you want it to be able to sit on top. So what I do is go like this, I put it up against it like that, and then I lay it down. There's your first hinge. See, it's all hinged on. And again, I like the glue because it gives me a little bit of grace period. So again, here's hinge number 2. And it has a little funky corner, but you know what? You're going to cover that up. For hinges, I tend to use scraps or whatever I have on my table that is left over from another project, because ultimately you're going to decorate this and you're going to cover it up. And apparently I can't talk and do this at the same time. Isn't that just the way the crafting works, especially when you're trying to explain something? So again, I'll bring that up to the edge, make sure it's even, lay that down, get your other long piece, and again, the best way to keep it, make sure you got the same space, put that thing right up against your other piece of chipboard, and then when you lay it down, it automatically puts like a little space right there. And you might still have to work with it a little bit, but I just, while the glue's still wet, just bring it up, make sure it's hinged, lay it back down, bring it up, make sure it's hinged, lay it back down. Now we're going to put the 2 side pieces on. Again, I'm just going to take these, fold them over, crease them, and if my glue cooperates today, that'd be great. And I did teach myself a better way of putting the holes in it for the twine. My first one, I literally punched the holes about 4 times because I punched them before I decorated it. Ladies, don't do that. Wait till you're done, then punch your holes. It's a heck of a lot easier. So again, I got that one down. Let's stand this up, line it up kind of where it needs to be. I lay it down, press it down. Bring it up, make sure it's going to sit up. That's easy peasy. Honestly, this can't be any simpler. If you know how to do the hinge method, or honestly, the hinge method is really easy to learn. I've done it on journals. I've done some big, like, Christmas box card like things, and when I first started paper crafting, I did a lot of, I think it was Kathy King, and she did a lot of hinging. And so I have made that kind of like a tool in my craft repertoire. So that hinges down. Again, I stand this up against the edge, line it up, and lay that down. And when the glue's still wet, you can move it to where you need it. Try to get it as even as possible. So that's your main hinges. Look at that, your box is almost put together. Just about. Now comes our 4 little pieces. These are your corner hinges. Now some people, they tend to hinge on the inside. I like to hinge on the outside. Some people do both. Ultimately, it's up to you how you want to do it. I want to get my project done, so I don't, unless I need to reinforce it, I don't do double hinge system. So to hinge it closed, you're going to put glue, and you're going to basically put this on the corner, and you want to bring these together. And I just kind of move the hinge in place so that it's got everything lined up. You want the corner to be lined up in there. You're going to have a little bit of an overhang, but honestly you can trim that off later. I got a little pair of Super Bees that work really good for that. And this is going to be hinge number 2 for the corners. Again, line your corner up. Make sure, I know you can't really see through my fingers, but you want your corner to be flush. See how there's no space in the corners? Because you don't want spaces in your corners or you're going to have a wonky box. And it's really hard to cover up mistakes when you have a wonky box. And before I'm done, I'll show you guys some of the Rolodex cards I've been making. Do keep in mind, this is a fun project, so you don't have to have a Rolodex card with a tab on it. You just want them to be similar in size, and just get creative with them. Try and, you know, come up with different things. I've been basically working really hard at work, so when I get home in the evenings, I literally try to do a Rolodex card per night so that I can kind of have some instant gratification. And it's fun. This Rolodex is for me. And if somebody else sends me a Rolodex card, that's cool too. But I've got friends that I've made on this group that I want to keep their addresses in a cute place. And ultimately, this is going to be what that's for. Plus, I have little ideas too of when I make something that I like that's small, I want to be able to drop it in my Rolodex. So, look at that. We already have our box. So, literally, that's how easy it is to hinge that together. Your side pieces, again, you're going to use your chipboard measurements, but instead of being 4 1/4 by 6, you're going to go down like an, you know, 1 tick mark on your ruler, or about 1/8 of an inch. You want to take 1/8 of an inch off, because what you want, oops, sorry, is you want a little bit of space. You see how I have a little bit of space around the edge? And I covered all of it. I covered the bottom, I covered the front, the sides, the inside, and the bottoms are basically the outside and the inside. I literally did with 1 12 by 12 piece of paper. Sorry, these aren't supposed to be in here, and they have nothing to do with the Rolodex. They were something I was trying to put on something earlier. Now, when it got to the feet, I'm not going to decorate this, but I am going to show you after you get all the decoration on, so all the paper that you want to do, to mark your holes. Literally. After you get everything put together, you're going to take one of these. It's a Rolodex card. You can get them anywhere. And you're going to put it kind of centered, like that. Then what I did, actually, you know what? It's better to mark it on the inside, and I'll show you why. So you're going to put it in, you're going to kind of center it. Can you see that? And then what you're going to do is I took a pen, and you're going to mark at the top of your little hole piece. So again, you're going to mark it right here at the top. And what you're going to do is our fun little crocodiles. It is easier to use this if you punch this way. I don't know if you can see that, but if you punch this way, it's a whole lot easier because you can't get this in here. So you're going to mark your holes for your twine on the inside. And that's where you're going to punch. And you're going to punch just above those lines. So when you get your pieces marked, you're going to punch just above that line. I'm not going to mark this because I want to actually do it the correct way. But literally use one of these. Put your Rolodex card on the inside, kind of center it, mark your hole, punch your little holes, because basically what you're going to do is take 2 pieces of twine and you're going to put it through the back, bring it up, put it through the front, and then I tied a bow on the front. And then, again, back to the feet. I started to talk about the feet. Paula and I were messing around. She's like, well, I don't want to have to paint the feet. So honestly, take your ink. You got a plain little block. Take and ink it. The other thing that would be really cute on these is if you have the Tim Holtz little metal feet. Those would be cute. And Paula and I thought about it afterwards, but even a little drawer pull on the front would be really cute. But literally, you just ink that, and when it's put on your box, it actually blends in pretty nice. Kind of goes with the inking tone. I'm hoping this is self-explanatory. There's not a whole lot to it. It's limited by your imagination, so you can decorate however you want, but literally this is 4 1/4 by 6. And again, if you're watching this video, take and pause your video and take a snapshot of that. That gives you your measurements, and just go to town. And just keep in mind, this is cardstock and chipboard. If you mess it up, try it again. You can always use that for something else. So just for the fun of it, I'm going to show you a couple of the Rolodex cards that I've been making. I have one from Rita and I have one from Paula that she made me. But I made this one for myself. And as you can see, it doesn't have a tab. They don't have to have tabs. You can put like a little eyelet in here and hang dangles off of it. You could even take this and put an eyelet and hang dangles off of it, but you don't have to have a tab. This one here, I like to paper clip things on. It's just like, you know, just gives it a little extra texture. That's one of my other ones that I've done. This one I was making out of the leftover pieces that I decorated the box with. And these are actually the front of the tablet that I took apart to make this. And I just cut out the little squares that were on the front of the tablet and tucked them in as cards. And then I don't know if you guys have seen these, but these are Tim Holtz mini bulldog clips, and they are the cutest freaking things ever. And I was wanting some mini bulldog clips, but I didn't want them quite that many, but I really like them anyways. One of these days I will find some, or I will figure out a way to make some. I don't know. But I really like the mini clips. They're just super cute. This one I kind of made today. I'm still not completely happy with it, but I like it. It's made with a Tim Holtz packaging piece. And I just put a clock on here for a tuck. These literally come out, and then on the back I put a pocket, and it's got cards in it as well. I can't get them out, but so it's got cards and another little mini bulldog clip piece. But again, have fun with the Rolodex cards. They don't have to be, you know, the same size. They don't have to be the same. You know, I'll have tabbies. I like having dimension, and so I literally put these in. Oh, and this is my stopper, little blue clothespin. But when you put them in, when you start getting your box full, it's going to have some different dimension, and you know, it's not all going to be same old. I do need to make some pieces that have, you know, stuff on this side instead of everything on this side. I seem to lean to the right, but you know, have fun with it. If you have questions, I'll try to do my best to answer the questions for you. Give it a shot, you know, don't be afraid to try. Again, it's just paper. If you mess it up, garbage can works great. Start over and try it again. But that's my tutorial for today. I sure hope everybody's enjoyed it, and I hope this works out for everybody. I know that I've made one, and PaulaLemmon, my cousin, she's made one. So if you make one, please post it on chat so that we can see your creations. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube, please do subscribe and leave comments. We always love the feedback. And happy crafting. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Take care.